And welcome to another edition of Dock Talk, All American Kayak Series, little podcast we got going on here, folks. We have in our angler interviews one of the guys from up north up here that makes noise everywhere he goes. He's been fishing with the All American for quite a while. Folks, if you're at home and you're watching this either through the recording and so forth, or you're watching it when we debuted it at Tuesdays at 7 Central, make sure to go smash that subscribe for us, man. That's a big deal. Help the All American Series grow, help us attract more sponsorship there. Good subscribes, that's what we're looking for. Facebook, make sure to follow the page. If you're a registered angler, join the group. All that good stuff there. That's how we can get this thing rolling, and really keep the All American where it needs to be and available to us out here. So, all right, man, let's get to it. Let's bring this guy in here. So I had a chance to interview this guy last year after the Minocqua event with the All American. And I could tell right away this dude was going to be a ton of fun to have on the interview, and talk to anybody out there. This guy's always good for a quote here and there that we'll definitely have to snip it and put on the social media. Let's go ahead and bring him in, Mr. Todd Martens. Todd, what's happening, brother?
How you doing, guys?
Good stuff, man. I appreciate you stopping by here with us, fellow team New Canoe here, getting some good representation on the All American Dock Talk. Always good to see.
Absolutely.
You got yours all cleaned up from the year, or you still got that to do?
Oh, I stripped that thing down and I already took it deer hunting. So
good stuff. Good stuff. I'm lagging behind on mine. I've got 3. 2 of them will be easy, just kind of wipe them down, not a big deal. But my tourney rig, boy, she's a mess, man. It's
I got road salt all over mine now. So
you got an open trailer then, yeah.
I got an open trailer, and the day I decided to take it up north for a couple of days hunting, it snowed. We got, 2 inches, 3 inches, just enough to make a mess. I was like, come on. So, yeah, it needs a good rinse.
I missed that from up north there, man. Yeah, that's they still use salt up there. Out here in Colorado, the granola band has pretty much killed salt usage out here. It's sand, and they use liquid mag chloride. That's much so kill everything, vegetation wise along the side of the road. But I'm not sure what the mentality was to go with that instead of salt. But a little easier on the cars.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man, let's for those folks at home, let's get I want to kind of drill this down and get to know who you are and so forth. So when you're not ripping lips and cashing checks, what do you do in your normal day to day?
Oh man, not much besides that. No, I'll let my boss do this. I work for a roofing company. Nice. Out of Chicagoland. We are all over the place up here in the Midwest, and I'm either out there more of a project manager, so I oversee multiple jobs, commercial jobs, residential, whatever. Check on them, order all the materials, do all the paperwork, deal with a lot of insurance stuff nowadays. That's a big thing. Every time the wind blows up here, everybody wants a new roof, so. Yeah, so mostly a lot of roofing. Luckily, like I said, I'm project manager. I can do most of my stuff from a phone or computer. So that's why, it allows me a lot of free time to get away. Yeah.
And it's rare too, man. It's rare that we have that perfect storm line up when people ask, when all they see is how much we fish and hunt and this and that. There's always the assumption, oh, you got money behind you. No, dog, actually don't. It's just the storm just lines up just right. My schedule permits, a lot of these things to occur. In my case, I married up. My wife supports these dreams that we're trying to do with my nonprofit. And so it leaves time like this to be able to do this stuff. That's
I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna talk to my wife when she gets home.
I'm telling you.
15 years with this one.
Yeah, this is number 2 for me. So it took me 2 to get it right,
Yeah. No, I'm good. I got lucky with this one. She actually works the school that my kids go to, so we're good. Yeah, it equals out. She lets me go. She used to actually fish tournaments with me when we first started dating. She knew how much I was into, and I was in the boat world back then.
Yep.
And she jumped into team tournaments with me and started traveling with me and doing the old like BFL type Everstart, I think it was called back then, for the FLW.
Right.
And she started going, so she understood before kids, before everything, how involved I was. Just, hey, 6-7 weekends a year, I'm gone. Like,
Right.
you can go with, or you can stay home, whatever you want, but I
You
will
know
be gone.
what was kind of funny? Give you the short version. So my wife and I actually dated for 2 years when I was like 18.
Okay.
We split our ways. She's a couple of years older than I am. She was ready kind of to start thinking about settling down. I was like, no. So we went our different ways. She went and got married, had 2 kids. I went and got married, had 2 kids. Later
Hmm.
our paths recrossed. Well, the day we reconnected on the phone, I'm literally talking to her on speakerphone on the deck of my bass boat as I'm sitting there fishing. I'm like, "Hey, how you been?" I'm sitting there
Yeah.
flipping into a whole pile of weeds there in Minnesota, and I'm like, so she knew from day one that this is part of me, man. This isn't a hobby. This is just who I am. I'm
Yep.
Gene, and I fish somewhere, sometime. If I have free time, I'm gonna find water. You know,
Absolutely.
you can have salt water in the beach. That doesn't do it for me. Give me fresh water, man. Give me a lake somewhere. Give me a river, and I'm happy. So yeah,
Hmm. No, absolutely.
she knew
Yeah.
coming in. She knew coming into it as well that yeah, that's kind of who he is. So good stuff, man. So how long have you? So you, like me, were in the boat world, and then you moved over to kayak. Now, was there an
Correct.
overlap period there, or did you go 2 feet in like I did?
I would say there was an overlap, actually. Yes, because I was still doing the Bass Nation stuff for the boat. I was actually on the Wisconsin State team that year, and 2020. So I've only been in the kayak three full seasons and a half. So 3.5 years is when I switched over. A couple buddies up here talked me into trying a couple, and I ended up enjoying them.
Hell yeah.
And that's the first, I think, the Bassmaster Lacrosse came to Lacrosse actually that year. Yeah, that was the first one that came up there.
Nice.
But I was on the Wisconsin State team, so the off limits overlapped where I couldn't free
Oh,
fish for like at all until like a couple days before. So it was yeah, it was I did both. I was still doing both at that time, but that was the end of it after I got into that full year of kayak and maybe 4 or 5 derbies under my belt. I was like, I'm done. I ended up selling the boat and everything. Like I went all in.
yep. No, I feel you, man. Mine was 22.
Yeah.
I still had my near brand new bass boat. Was ready for the next season. I had registered all of my MLF stuff. Across the board. We were hitting BFLs. We were going to jump in some Toyota series.
Yep.
This was before they did the scrambled eggs that they have now.
Oh gosh,
Um,
yeah.
what a mess. But I was all set and good to go. And then, not for nothing, few things transpired. Next thing you know, I got 4 kayaks coming, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm looking at this and I'm talking to people, and I'm like, dude, I think I'm going to go in on this.
Yeah.
I literally got hooked into, because I had deals from the boat world. So a couple of them came with me to the kayak side,
Yep.
and I'm like, guys, I've never even fished a single day out of a kayak yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that unlimited, man, made it so freaking easy. Not to be a new canoe commercial here, but it's the truth. It made it
Yeah.
so easy to transfer in and get comfortable in there that, yeah, man, it was, my boat never got unwinterized in 22. I
Mm-hmm.
sold it in September because there was a part of me that couldn't. I'm like, I know I need to, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I feel you. Once you get bit with it, it's happy to be here and never looking back.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was, yeah, one of my buddies that lives up here that's also a kayak guy. He was in my boat club with me. He had switched over and he went all in maybe, I don't know, a couple years before me. And we all razzed him, all the boat guys. Hey, where you been? Oh, and.
Yep, yep.
And there was what was it? I forgot. There was a tournament up here. It was a bigger tournament. I was like, man, I want to get in that. I do well out there in boats, so I wanted to try and jackpot one, basically. And I was like,
Right.
but I had never been in a fishing kayak before. I had the little cheap ones at our camper that we would putz around in, and I tried to fish out of them. There was no. You're sitting, you're falling over. It was not. I'm not taking my gear on that.
Right.
So he had a friend that was getting rid of a Jackson Kilroy. And I had never heard of it, no idea. I drove down there, and the guy's like, "You want to trade? I heard you got some firearms." So I was like, "I'm not giving you $1,500 for this plastic thing. You're out of your damn mind." So I traded him a gun. I had extra.
Nice.
Let's put it that way. I
You
had
had
extra.
extra.
So, and Illinois is very strict on firearms, but we did it the right channels. We did the whole. We have to have FOID cards, and we got to jump through a lot of hoops. I had just won this thing in a raffle, so I got $20 into this thing. I won it. I didn't need it. He liked it. I traded for it.
Nice.
Took it out. I don't know, a week later into this tournament, and it's a paddle. I mean, I'm paddling. I had no motor. All these other guys running around, and I ended up winning the damn thing.
That's awesome.
No graph, no nothing. I said, I knew where to go. I knew what to do. I said, I just got to go do it. And everybody that went by with all their stuff, and I was like, man, that looks so much easier. And sure enough, over winter, I think I won 3 or 4 that first year out of the Kilroy, out of the 5 I did. I said, I'm going all in. I told my wife, I was like, I'm going all in. I went to our local shop. That's when they actually brought me in with New Canoe and, New Canoe dealer. And I bought the unlimited sight unseen. I ordered it. It was one of the first ones, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Thunderstorm Gray in the release video is the one I got. Because we're the local dealer for New Canoe, one of the closest ones that they work together. Yeah. And actually, you probably know Schiller as well. Yep. Now with Dubrow, yeah, Schiller's my, I guess, team manager for Rocktown.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Schiller's my guy, my local guy. He lives down the road too, about 15 minutes away. But yeah, he hooked me up with them, and I said, just whatever I need, let's go. I need all the stuff that these guys had.
Right.
I mean, went all in. I went from a paddle and the Kilroy to the unlimited. I mean, spot lock, power pole, dual graphs. I mean, you name it, live scope. I said, I don't care if anything my bass bow had, I need it on this thing. So yeah, I went all in. I came back to the first tournament in 2021, and everybody's like, who the hell's that? Because they saw the trailer, the fully loaded thing.
Right.
And they're like, I thought you had a paddle Jackson. I was like, no, I'm ready now.
So bitches, I'm here to play.
I said, I'm not messing around. I said, I didn't realize there was that much money involved with kayak fishing. I'm not going to lie. I did not know it was that big a deal where guys are winning thousands of dollars. I mean, our club events, some of them 30, 40 guys show up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, heck yeah. So this is fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, well, I'm glad I did that leap. I'm glad I made it.
Well, and you see if you agree with me too, man. I mean, and this is no hack on anybody else. It's just it's stating a fact of the kayak community. Dude, it's a cool ass community of people.
Oh, absolutely.
It really is. I mean, I'm sure you got your freaking, toe fungus people running around out there. But on the all, man, when you meet a fellow kayaker, there's like this immediate bond, that's just like, sup, dude, you need anything, let me know. I got parts, whatever.
Absolutely.
And I have loved that, man. It's just been a very open community that's been, just very welcoming, for a guy coming in.
Well, you have your little club dramas or whatever here and there, but we're all friends in the end and we squash it. But yeah, overall, I mean, every national event I've been to, every meeting random people at the launch, like, hey man, how you doing? And before you know, you're fishing by each other, whatever. I'm very open about that. I'm not one of those guys that get away from me deals.
Right.
And,
right.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, you still got to catch them. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, everybody's been, I tell my boat guys too. I still talk to all of them. I've been friends with them for years. And I'm like, just buy a damn kayak. Come try one. Borrow one of mine. I don't care. It's fun. It's fun. It's just, I still have fun. It like renewed the tournament scene for me. Because the boat stuff is just getting.
Same here.
It was just getting too much. The clubs were just everybody bickering all the time. There was always something going on.
And just increased dollars every freaking
oh my
year.
God.
Man.
Every derby, even club derbies are starting to cost $500-600 between travel and gas, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. BFLs, I mean, I was dropping almost $1,000 to go do those because of gas. I mean,
no. 100%. I was driving from Minnesota to the Ozark division. I was fishing the Ozark division down there 7-8 hours, walk in the park trip. Driving doesn't bother me. I actually like it. So yeah, I could zip down there, hit those bad boys. And yeah, dude, it's $1,000 per trip.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. 5 of those a year, it's like, wow.
But, yeah, you better start winning.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to cash checks.
You have to cash checks or you're out of the game. I mean, breaking even at the end of the year is actually a win for 90% of these anglers.
Right.
It really is. I mean,
no, I feel you. I feel you, man. When I got in there, all of a sudden it brought back that love again for
Yep.
competition. I could embrace the grind, and I always tell my boat buddies that I still know up north there and such. I'm like, hey, man, the difference is really the biggest difference is I can drive away from a gas station smiling.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, that's the big difference between you and me now. I don't have to dump $250, into my boat anymore,
Yep.
for a trip, plus.
100%. And once you outfit them, I mean, like I said, I'm not rebuilding the power head every 3 years. I'm not.
Right.
Something's not breaking every single tournament. I mean, I have, knock on wood, I have zero issues in 3 years with that thing. All my everything's been good to me. There's nothing I can really upgrade. So winter is kind of boring nowadays. I don't have the 100 packages showing up every year.
I hear you, man. I hear you. When was your first jump into the All American, man? When did you first get introduced to the All American Kayak Series?
So it would have been the championship or the classic, I think they call it on Truman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think our club got invited. And I mean, you know how they open it up to all the clubs. So our club was like, hey, does anybody want to go down? And we had a good group. I think we almost filled it. I think we had the 10 spots that year even. We all jumped in and went down there and camped together and had a good old time and saw how the All-American was and said, absolutely, let's do this. And then they came to lacrosse. And I mean, anything that comes to lacrosse, I'm signed up for. I don't care what it is.
That's awesome.
Even the stupid Hobie where I had to borrow a paddle kayak. But I'm getting in it. That's one of my favorite bodies of water. So I'm going to be there no matter if it's a 5 guy or a 350 guy. I'm going to be there.
I'm with you, man. I love the pools.
So that would be the next thing then. The All-American came to lacrosse. Actually, it was out of Lansing, Iowa. And I jumped in that one. And we did a little team thing, a little side team thing. Tyler was like, Team Iowa versus Team Minnesota. And then I was in charge of, funny, I live in Illinois. All right. But I was in charge of Team Wisconsin. I'm known as a Wisconsin angler, but I live in Illinois.
No kidding.
I'm about 5 miles over the border. So I'm still a fib. I think that's the term they use for me, but
a fib,
which we won't talk about, but whatever.
Does that end with inbred?
No. Something F an Illinois bastard or something like that.
Okay, all right. Hey, we have full language warning on this. So you can say gotcha. Yeah. So that's what the Wisconsin guys call you.
They just can't stand Illinois plates in the state of Wisconsin. They can't stand them. They hate them. I mean, you can get on any Wisconsin thread, whether it's whitetail hunting, fishing, anywhere, and they're complaining about people from Illinois, no matter what. It's all the time. It's great.
It's kind of like southern Minnesota with Iowa. They do that too. They see an Iowa plate and they got, idiot out wandering around.
Yeah.
That's what Iowa stands for. And it's like, oh my gracious.
They do. It's just a Midwest thing. That Midwest nice is gone. I don't care what anyone says. The Midwest nice is gone.
Gotcha.
Now we're all competition. But no, I'm predominantly Wisconsin. I don't join any Illinois clubs anymore. I'm a Wisconsin Bass Nation member. I'm Wisconsin clubs. Nice. I'm only 5 miles from the border, and everything that we fish, whether it's club, All-American, Hobie, whatever it may be, is 3 hours max away. Illinois, Northern Illinois, we only have one chain of lakes up here, and it's a nightmare. I fished it growing up. It's about an hour east of me, and it's the busiest inland body of water in the entire country. It's not fun to do a bass tournament out there. It's a grind. Some great anglers come out of there, but a couple that have actually made it to the elites now.
Wow.
But it's a grind. I mean, 10, 12 pounds. You're getting beat up by wakeboard boats, cigarette boats all day long. It's not fun. Other than that, you got to go to central southern Illinois. So 3 hours would be the closest derby I could do.
Wow.
So that's why I'm more predominantly a Wisconsin angler by far. I'd move there if I could.
Basically, Wisconsin guy, just with higher taxes. That's all.
Yeah, I just pay a little extra taxes with all of Wisconsin winnings, though, so I don't mind. I'll bring their money home.
That's awesome.
Bring that gas money. That's what I tell them when I sign up. I'm here for the gas money.
So yeah, man. So next year we're going to be Minocqua. We're going to be lacrosse.
You'll see me at both of those.
Okoboji. You going to make that one?
I have it on my schedule.
Okay.
I do want to do that one. I was talking with a few of the other guys, the Minnesota guys, actually, the Miniac guys. and it's planned right now, I should say,
That
because I
one's going
want
to
to
be
get four.
awesome.
I do want to get four in. I really do want to get the four in.
Yeah,
I
100%.
mean,
We did a lot of work on this one here behind the scenes. I can let it be known now. Arrowwood Resort is going to be our host.
okay,
They're going to be throwing up for guys that aren't camping. They can take a look at some room rates here for the anglers. It's a little bit better. The awards is going to be in their amazing awards banquet room that they have
okay,
there for us. Tons of good parking, at the resort. We also got the factory outlet tackle shop there. What is it called? The Fisherman's Factory Outlet.
okay,
It's
yeah,
it's pure it's Pure Fishing's outlet.
yeah, pure
That,
fishing, yeah,
that tackle store is going to be our host tackle company there. So they'll probably provide some swag, some different things and items. And I don't know if we're not 100% sure if they're going to do a discount for guys, but it'll at least be a place if you need quick gear, whatever. They've got a bunch of stuff.
absolutely.
And so, yeah, man, we're getting the town is really getting behind, having us coming in there. They're excited about having us there. It's going to be a ton of fun, I think.
Yeah, no, I've heard nothing but good about it, but the area, the fishing especially. Yeah, that would definitely be one of my four that I could make.
We'll be partnering with the big Iowa club, the two that joined
They
together.
merged. I
Yep.
think they merged. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a big deal.
Casey Day and us, we've been chatting with them and making sure we're getting all that put together so that we can,
No, that'll be big. Yeah, that'll be a good one for sure. That'll be a big draw. I think overall, just where you guys are this year, with after the Bass and the Hobie schedules came out,
yeah.
not a lot of happy Midwest fishermen.
That's the thing, man. It's like the West Coast guys, and I'm Midwest here in Colorado, but also West Coast,
Yeah,
kind of
you're
both.
further west. Yeah.
But at the same time, there's been no love really by a lot of the big sides. And now that I'm on this side of the fence, I get it,
Hmm.
right? This is a business.
Yeah.
And as much as you want to do something, if it's not lucrative enough, if it at least can't cover the expenses of getting there and doing the show right, then
Yeah.
you're left with doing the show poorly. And Josh, Troy, myself, Tyler, everybody that's been involved in trying to put this thing on the map, we refuse to do it poorly. And so
Yeah.
that's why we're stepping, forward to really. No, we're not Bass. No, we're not Hobie. They're the big dance. We get that, and that's cool. They can
Mhm.
be that. We are, a big dance that is basically a little bit more. I don't want to say relaxed, but it is. It is a more of a. It's going to be a fun event. We pay out as high as any
Yeah.
other national trail,
Yep.
but at the same time, we want these to be events that you remember, man, and you go, dude, I had a good time at that event. That's what we want. We want the anglers taken care of. We want it to be
Yeah.
something, and so to do that, it requires some things. So, but we're doing it. We're finding ways to work around it. It's like
Oh yeah.
it takes a lot of grinding, but
Absolutely. I mean, I
the
think this is
Midwest
only
gets
All
forgotten
American's
about.
third year. I want to say this is only the third year of All American.
Yeah, 23 was I think the third year, and 24 will be our fourth year, I think.
Will be the fourth. Yeah, I say you got 3 full years in. I mean, it's baby steps. It really is, especially
Yeah.
with the kayak community. They kind of you got to get the Midwest guys. Once you get all those guys showing up, and I
Well,
think this next year, I think that's going to be huge.
and
I,
that's
I,
who
re-
we're
I
we're
really
here
do.
for is the flyover states, man. We stay
Yeah,
Kentucky Lake. Yes, we're going there. We're jumping the Mississippi. That's the only time we're doing it.
yeah.
We usually stay on this side of the
That'll
Mississippi.
probably be my fourth.
That's going to be a
That'll
fun.
probably. Yeah, I
We've got
enjoy
some.
Kentucky Lake. I've always had fun there. I've always caught fish there. I haven't been there since the whole Asian carp thing, but I heard it's bouncing back.
Yeah,
I heard it's better now than it was the last few years.
and the
So
people there,
hopefully,
they want us there. The
yeah. Oh
companies want us there, so that's why we're like, yes, we would love to come here.
yeah. Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. You still got to show up. You still got to support the community. I mean, Kentucky Lake was huge. I fished there many times over the years, back in the boat world and English Choice Championships, stuff like that. And yeah, they need it. Those small communities, there's nothing there without the anglers. There's really not.
Yep.
That's how much the bass anglers bring to these small communities. They really do.
The impact can be seen, man, especially on the
Hmm.
kayak side. I think, especially in the fact that Dude, we're using campgrounds primarily and using a lot of, gas stations, grocery stores.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're pretty self-sufficient. We look for that, more than we
Yep.
do the all-inclusive type stuff, so it's a pretty cool deal. But you're right, man. The Midwest, that's the key. That's what we're focused on. We're going to continue to try to build that. Um, and and I think that's hopefully this next year, man, we'll see it come through.
They're trying to keep us out of the big trails. We keep taking all the money. So they keep scheduling it further and further away from all the Midwest guys. We got a lot of sticks in the Midwest.
I couldn't agree more, dude. I mean, some of the best in the nation, flat out.
Absolutely. No, I agree 100%. There's some amazing anglers up here. And yeah, I think the closest tournament this year is 11 hours for the two national trails for me. It's 11
Yeah.
or 12 hours. That's the closest one. I was like, ooh. Yeah, I probably won't be attending very many, if any of those.
I feel for you there, but I just I feel like remiss if I wouldn't say that's a normal drive for me being out here in Colorado. I'm like 12 hours. All right, that's a day. I can do it.
That's a haul, man. Yeah,
It
you live
is.
out. That's far.
I'm in Eastern California, bro. That's what we call it now. Yeah.
We're not even in the United States anymore.
Colorado is, we got some casinos, a few Mormons and some hookers in between us and Central California.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot there. I'm just waiting for an earthquake. When's the earthquake coming?
Right. We're Eastern California, unfortunately.
The only time I pay attention to California is if an earthquake hits it.
Right. No, I don't blame you, man. It's
yeah.
There's a lot that comes with that, but no, the whole there's been a really good northern swing when Josh was putting this deal together, man. When we saw those three, the Okoboji, La Crosse, Minocqua was the one that I'll admit I raised my eyebrow a little bit at because we didn't see a lot of guys coming to it last year.
Yep.
But what was funny is after all of the results come down and after everybody talks about that went there, all of a sudden you got guys going, hey, is that going to be back on the schedule? There's like, oh, now you want to go back there, or now you want to go there now that you've seen what it has to offer. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's, we've got,
it was a tough deal though. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't for some of these guys like coming from Missouri and those traveling up there. You got to be there. You got to know the area. When you have a 50-mile radius or whatever that was, that's 1,000 lakes, whatever it was. I mean, that's and you got guys like Luderbach, Josh, and myself, and us that have been going there. I mean, that's only 4 hours for me. Yep. Fishing there since I was 16. I'm 46 now, so we've got them narrowed down to 3, 4, 5 lakes that we know you can get 100 inches out of. We know you can if you get them right.
Right.
And these poor other guys, I mean, everywhere you turn, there's a lake every half mile, every mile on the right, on the left, on the right. I mean,
it's sensory overload.
It's a lot. It is. And then you see the Minocqua chain itself. And if you don't know, Minocqua chain's garbage. Do not fish the Minocqua chain. Not like that. If you're on the Minocqua chain, thank you for your donation. Or I should be the opposite way. Yeah, hit the Minocqua chain. Those lakes are amazing. Go to Lake Tomahawk. 100 inches smallmouth, no problem.
I think I'll air this the week after the Minocqua event.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, maybe. We had one guy fish it for I believe the All-American or just the Great Lakes side of things, the club side. And he goes, man, I caught 10 inches all day. I was like, yeah, you fished the chain, didn't you? He goes, yep. You'll catch 100 of those. Yep. But there's just so many good bodies of water, but really there's 5 to 10 that are just amazing bodies of water. Or 18s are average.
We were having this conversation at Mind Lands, and this is when guys look at that and they try to think that's a negative thing when they say, that all this water, only 4 or 5 are going to produce. But when we were at Mind Lands, I kind of brought this back and I said, imagine for 1 second, if Mind Lands, if all those pools were connected, geographically, they were all connected. There's 3, 4 spots in that lake that are going to produce the big numbers at any one given time. Bill Dance most famously was known as saying, of quality fish, 90% of the quality fish will be located in 10% of the water.
Hmm.
The same when you're looking at a chain. So it's no different than if it was a big ass body of water. It just
Yeah.
happens to be those areas what holds this in this case. So
Yep.
it does make it, I will say this, it does make it very daunting of a task when you have that much water in play.
Yeah.
We had these conversations early on, and we haven't put down an official statement yet about what we're going to do with this year's.
Hmm.
But one of the big philosophies we had was we want to make it easier and more inviting to fish this series.
Yeah.
So when we make decisions, we need to ask the question is what we're doing on this decision, does it meet that criteria? Does it
Yeah.
make it more inviting? Does it make it easier to come fish with us? It's why we went back to Saturday, Sunday. It's why we cut down Sunday to noon. It's why
Yeah.
it's right at the heart of why we kept fees where they were at. Why we removed the membership requirement, to fish with us. You need membership to get AOI, but not to fish with us. You can come in and
Yeah.
fish,
Yep.
anywhere. So everything we've been doing has been in that vein. So me personally, I know where my vote stands, behind the scenes on what we're doing there, um, with how we do that. And I know we're going to upset somebody no matter what we do. If we
Yeah.
keep it the same at 50 miles, if we say we restrict it to Wisconsin waters only, because at a
I don't
50-mile radius, bro, you can go 25 miles into Michigan.
I don't think you're going to upset too many people if you narrow it down a lot, honestly,
We
because I
were
think most of us were fishing on 3 lakes. So
we were we were talking about the numbers that came up like 30-mile range. Cut it down, to 30 miles. And with a 30-mile range, also make the statement that it's got to be Wisconsin waters only because that's where we've pulled our permit.
yeah.
You know,
Yep.
if you're going to be fishing a border water of some kind, you need to alert us beforehand so that we can give you a yay or nay to that body of water.
Yeah. Well, it'd only be the Menominee probably. That river is amazing. That's
Yep.
one of the few rivers up here that'll give Susquehanna a run for its money for sure.
Nice.
That's the border water there between the UP and Wisconsin.
Good
Just
stuff.
a shallow, fast flowing, boulder filled, lots of smallmouth.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, so that's we don't know yet though. I think there's some discussion going on there. I know, like I said, we've been getting lobbied from some guys that I think have some spots that are at the end of that 50-mile range or
Oh yeah.
whatever it is, and it's like
Yeah. Right at 20 something miles. Yep.
exactly. So
Yep.
we're paying attention to what everybody's asking, and we're just going to try to make a good decision based for everybody. Because, dude, I think that would be if we could get 50 anglers up there.
Yeah.
What a phenomenal time, man, and what a hell of a good payout.
Absolutely.
That would make it worthwhile for a lot of guys.
I wouldn't mind if you did 10-mile radius. That's what I
Right?
think. And honestly, that's what I think initially. I know there was some miscommunication with the club president and Booth or something happened. I don't know what it was, but ours said 10-mile, and then Booth released 50-mile. We're like, whoo, that's a big difference. But the
Big
10-mile
difference.
radius, that's what we usually do for the club. When we do Minocqua, we'll do like 3 lakes. We'll pick 3 lakes, or they will pick 3 lakes, I should say,
Yep.
depending on how many people, obviously. They'll just do 3 random lakes that we know are all good. So we know where all the anglers are. We know everybody's going to have fun and success, whatever. And then they wanted to do the radius deal. So we're like, all right, well, I mean, Josh, who won it, and then myself were within 10 miles. We weren't even 10 miles outside of Minocqua. But I know those lakes that are being spoken about at 20 miles away are amazing as well. 100, 103, 104, 105 inches you can get.
Are you with the Great Lakes Kayak Fishing Series? Is that what you fish with?
Correct. Yep. Yep.
I can tell you firsthand, Nick and I have been talking behind the scenes. We are absolutely going to be working hand in hand. Nick and I
Yep.
have got a good communication channel open.
Yep.
And so we're talking with them because wherever we set up for the awards, we want Great Lakes to be able to use that, awards banquet as well.
Yeah.
When we get that established, I will say this, man, it's a little bit trickier and harder in places like Minocqua during July. That is the tourist season. We don't really offer too much to them with us coming in. It's not like we have places there that are looking, for business because they're going to be
no.
slammed. So if you happen to know, or any of your buddies know of a place you think would be a good place for an awards banquet of some kind, and we're looking for a place that has obviously ample enough space for everybody to show up there. We like to try to offer food at each one of these this year,
Hmm.
or at least have the availability where somebody could order food. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and
That's a tough time to go there for sure. That's
I'm betting we're going to have to step out of Minocqua and go to a different town to really host this.
Yes, unless they have a city park or the shelter or something like that. But as far as a venue,
Yeah.
that's gonna be tricky for sure. That's that whole Vilas County area is probably besides Door County, that's the other spot that everybody and their mother goes to.
Yep.
It's just crazy up there. I love it, but it's nuts if you get around Minocqua.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, good stuff, man. So you're looking at the northern stuff. You got your local stuff that you still fish there. What's 24 looking like for you, man? What do you got on the schedule, on the plan?
So I do Great Lakes. I have for the last actually since I started the last couple of years, and I got a couple AOI in a row going here for that club. And
Nice.
I really want to continue that streak. I do. But this other club, there's another club in town. That's what Josh fishes out of, Luderbach. It's
Yep.
Midwest. And they are just growing. They got a lot of the Illinois guys joining now. I mean, they're averaging, I don't know, 40 guys or whatever. And
Wow.
I think I really want to dip into that one also and kind of try both as my goal. But I mean, it's a lot. I mean, you do two clubs, then you add in All American. I'm not going to be able to do any of the other national trails this year unless I
Right.
get, well, besides the Bass Championship I'm going to in March.
10
But that's
killer.
probably, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be down there with Tyler actually. I think we're all staying in the same place. And after that one, I'm hoping to make the Truman one again because I think last year I had a top 10. Or right at, yeah, I should have had sixth, I think it was, but rookie mistakes, taking pictures and not checking them when I submitted them. But
Oh.
yeah, I had a couple mistakes again. I was still getting used to all that crap, but I
Yeah.
had one really blurry one, so I lost like an inch and a half on day one. So
Ouch.
that alone was four spots.
Yep.
And so yeah, I got that place. I think after three trips there, I'm starting to narrow it down now, figure it out a little better and consistent. So I'll go to Truman, and then the All Americans is what I think I'm going to focus on the most because you got, like I said, you got Minocqua and La Crosse. I love both of those play areas. So
Perfect.
those play right to me. Okoboji is everybody tells me that fish is just like all my home waters here. Big, deep, clear, smallmouth, largemouth.
Yep.
The Lake Genevas, the big greens, the big ones up here where you're getting, the big numbers and the big smallies for sure. I'm a big, I don't know when I turned into this giant smallmouth fisherman, but everybody's got me labeled as one. So I grew up in Texas fishing largemouth, but
Right. Right.
and then I came up here, and I mean, it's hard not to fall in love with catching a 20-inch smallmouth. So, and
Those things are mean, man. They're just a
yep.
different beast.
So Kentucky Lake, I said I've always done well. I have experience down there. I know it's a lot different lake now than when I've been there, but so three out of the four that I know I can probably make, I have experience on. I usually do well on. So I'd like to.
Good
I mean, you
stuff.
got to take those opportunities. You really do. You got to take those opportunities and jump on that.
Absolutely. When you're looking at schedules, that's one of the things, location, and what are your real chances at, cashing a
Yep.
deal. It's one thing to go to a place to just experience it, which is a
Yeah.
ton of fun. And the All American's a great series to go do that. But
Absolutely.
if you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint, dude, location comes in, and you're knowing your strengths and knowing what type of fishery you're going to fish it. Yeah, you got to do the math, right? And
Yep.
put it down for sure. So there's no way that we do this stuff, chase and fish around, especially if you start driving to go do it. There's no way you can do that without a support structure of some kind. It starts at home. We
Yep.
establish that. You and I both married up. We we outkicked our coverage with our wives. They support us what we do out there.
100%.
Yep. um, but stepping into the other side, New Canoe, you're part of Team New Canoe. Who are some of the other sponsors and the other companies you work with that help, kind of bring this whole thing together for you?
All right. Well, this winter's been tricky, just like you've seen, I think, in the elites and all these guys. You see all the posts. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many companies dumping the pro staffers right now. They're just, and I actually had a company I've been with about 11 years say, hey, we're eliminating the pro staff. We're going to make it a customer club. Here's your 15% discount now after 12 years. And I'm like, yeah, so I'll be shopping elsewhere. So,
Yeah.
um,
Thanks, but no thanks.
yeah. So, I mean, I do a lot with, I guess the local dealer, Rocktown Adventures is the big one.
Nice.
They support me, help me out, whatever I need for the most part. That's all part of new Team Canoe, the new canoe team.
Yep.
So, then we got a company called 2K Jigs, which I've been with for a while as well. They're making amazing swim jig bait, and that's what got me into it. I mean, if you fish the Midwest up here, you got to have swim jigs. Swim jigs that's the backbone of almost every lake up here, especially largemouth fishing.
Agreed.
And they got an amazing swim jig, so I jumped on them a long time ago. Get Bit Baits. I'm a huge tube fisherman. They're out of Door County, all well-known Sturgeon Bay. Everybody and their mother uses them. Although there's a new company coming up fast that I gotta maybe talk to. Fish USA brought me on as more of an ambassador. I don't know what they called me last year, I believe it was. I said gave me like a trial run, so I'm looking forward to that phone call this year.
Nice.
Trying to think here. I know I missed. Oh, Tacticam. I've been with Tacticam for a while, and supposed to help grow their fishing side of things, but they're really, and I bow hunt and I'm big deer hunter too. Successful. I do very well deer hunt as well normally, and they brought me on to do both kind of videos and all that, which I'm still trying to figure out. I'm 46. I've never been the big YouTube, GoPro. We didn't do that. I mean, we just got stories that we used to jump and break stuff and
Right.
all that old jackass stuff. I'm like, we did that before they had cameras. Come on.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, like
There's no evidence.
that's rookie stuff. Come on.
No, I hear you. The video thing is a big deal, man, because it's
Mhm.
for me, the TPO, we're actually doubling down and focusing harder and harder on the YouTube side for
Yes.
this. Our format change is moving more to that. Our Facebook and Instagram presence will remain, but um, you won't see us doing calls to action or community service stuff. We'll post pictures of our events, but where the content goes for the supporters and such of the TPO, we're going to be aiming pretty much most of our efforts right at YouTube because that's really where
Yeah.
people want it. That's what they want it. And brother, it's a near like half full-time job trying to learn some of that stuff.
Oh,
It gets to be a
absolutely.
pain in the butt.
Absolutely. There's a few, the smaller stuff, the brand ambassador type stuff or whatever. Just companies, I don't even care if they sponsor me or not. I use their stuff, like the Dobbins rods.
Yep.
Um, Been trying to work on them for a while. Same with missile baits. Been trying to work on them, trying to move my way up and maybe one day get on their pro staff with the big guys. But I don't know. They're a lot of these bigger companies that I used to be with. Like when I did the boat stuff, I had Buffalo Wild Wings. I had stuff like that. I had some bigger name guys that were like, here's a paycheck back in the day. Like here, go
Yeah.
pay your entry fees. It was easy. It really was.
Yep.
If you were a successful angler, that's what they liked. Now they want you to have followers, likes, shares. They don't care if you're good or not. They want the younger guy, really, is what they want. They want the young guy that's just going to share everything. Doesn't matter what it is. And I get forgetful sometimes. And I need to get better with all that to do better in this current state of sponsorships or whatever. Pro staff used to mean pro staff, like professional, not promotional.
Yep.
So, and I'm still getting used to all that where everybody wants to, here's your 20-30% discount. Let's see how you do for the next 2-3 years. And then they'll bump you up.
Yep.
So I'm working with that on there's quite a few companies that are more brand ambassadors, patch pirates, whatever you want to call them. But
no, it's the brand ambassador piece. Social media changed the landscape, man. There's
it did.
One thing I know, I feel very, very strongly about that I'd be glad to have conversations with, and that is business and promotions.
Yep.
My horrendously embarrassing student loan debt will tell you that is exactly what I went to school for. So,
Yeah.
and I have 20 plus years of experience out there, in putting it to work. And that's the fact of the matter is social media changed the landscape of this. However, I will say this, there are more and more companies that are starting to understand the danger and the damaged long-term effects of what comes with chasing followers.
Yep.
I am very proud of the very few companies that I'm with that are not quantity, companies. Now, it hasn't always been that way. There was a
Yep.
time, even with some of the companies I'm with, where that was a big push, but now they've evolved. Eagle Claw is the number one best that I can use as the example, is
Okay.
the fact that Eric will tell you, he is the guy in charge of the marketing and the pro teams there. And the fact of the matter is, they don't care about your followers. What they care
Yeah.
about is that you're a good person,
Good
you know
person.
what
Yep.
you know what you're talking about, and you represent professionally, and you're doing good things for our sport.
Yep.
That's what's at the heart for them. They have the follower thing locked, but they got Mark Zona. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that is like, you're going to be hard pressed to find a bigger name in bass fishing than Z, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
he transcends all, formats. I mean, he's kind of our godfather these days,
Yeah.
of feeding info. So they've got those guys. What they look for on their team, level, is just that it's a legacy company, and that's what they want you to represent as. And I'm
Absolutely.
seeing more and more of those companies. I feel strongly about the fact that I believe Amped Outdoors is that way.
Yeah.
Team Amped, Mark over there, Matt over there. I'm sorry, Matt. He cares about who you are and what you're doing. If you're going to put his
Absolutely.
patch next to him, next to you.
Yeah.
I
We
had a
usually
chance.
talk to them a bunch. They got a booth right next to ours at the Madison show, and
Yeah,
they've been a big supporter of the Great Lakes Club. A lot of the Wisconsin club, based out of Wisconsin, so they
yeah.
support all the Wisconsin
Hudson.
clubs. They've always been great. I run Amped myself. I've never pushed for that, I guess you could say.
Sure,
I
sure.
just said, here, I just posted here. I hashtag them. I tag them here. I use Amped batteries. Never once asked. Don't care. I mean, if they want to throw it out there, great. But I'll be seeing them here soon at the Madison show. I think January or February. But they have the booth right next to us usually, or across from us, from the New Canoe Rock Ton Adventures booth.
That's awesome stuff. I had a chance to actually go see headquarters. I was out in the city seeing my daughter and my mother, who live out in
Yeah.
Minnesota still. And so where we were staying was right over by the Mall of America. So 30 minutes away was Hudson, right where
Yep.
Amp's located. So I got a chance to go over and see Matt after he got back from some ice shows and such. And so I got to tour the
Oh yeah.
facility. Yeah, man,
Yeah, they're
it's
great. They're a great
cool.
company. Everybody loves them. I think they're another one it's a big Midwest thing. They built that up first, and then they're going to start. They already are. I would say starting to spread into some of the bigger names because Dakota came in hot 4 or 5 years ago, whatever that was, and got a lot of the bigger names on board. And then with the Bassmaster freaking sign up, but
Yep.
Amped is coming on hot. I think they got a couple of lead anglers now actually. So they're a good company. They're a solid company.
To me, man, it's I say it with the utmost confidence. Open them up.
Yep.
You want to know why Amped? Open them up and look at them.
Yep.
You will not have another question after that.
Yeah. No,
Trust me.
absolutely.
I've seen it done. I've watched the YouTube videos. I've seen it firsthand on the bench there at Amp. Oh my Lord. And
Yeah.
it gave me warm fuzzies because I'm like, thank goodness that's what's in my yak right behind
Hmm.
me. I don't want that thing sitting over there that's got, some packing tape holding shit together.
Yeah.
I don't want that 5 feet from my back, dude.
Absolutely.
No way.
And the customer service is amazing too. I mean,
Right?
they take care of you. They really
Yeah,
do.
good stuff. So we got like Rocktown, we got 2K, Get Bit Baits, Fish USA, Tacticam, Dobbins, Missile, working with a lot of these guys. Some at the brand ambassador level, some at the higher level. That's good
Yeah.
stuff, man. I mean, you've been
Yeah.
around and you've cashed checks. You got some trophies. I'm surprised
Oh
I
yeah.
don't see the trophies behind you. I mean, do you have a room? There we go. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I didn't want to be that guy that all the checks
Nothing
they're
wrong.
in the garage.
The Happy Gilmore checks.
All those big old Happy Gilmore checks, they're all in the garage, just on the wall. I've done well.
I've got my
I've done
two
well.
from the All American. I got my two hiding back over there behind my chair.
I think last year, besides Gunnerville, I think I cashed a check top 3 at every single event I entered. So,
Wow.
and then the year before, I won 5 events out of the 7 major ones. So I've done all right.
Despite what Tyler says, you're pretty good, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tyler knows. Don't let him fool you. He knows. I got to tow him around in that old town all the time.
That's right. That old town has like a fish-seeking front end on it, man. That is crazy.
It is. Yeah. I mean, that last, I think the Bass and the All-American. I mean, we weren't more than 100 yards apart the entire tournament. I mean, we launched together. We went the same direction. I tried getting away from him day 2, and then of course he took over because I was ahead of him day 1. Me and Lance Burris, we let him have it all to himself in the morning, and it backfired big time. Put up 90 inches or whatever the hell it was in lacrosse, and took the lead.
But
See,
on the way there, you got to pit maneuver him, man. Just run, take the tail end out.
I was trying to find the drain hole plugs. I was pull that Minn Kota out. I mean, you name it. I was like, what can we do?
Hook rocks to the back of it.
Whatever we had to do. I mean, I come on.
I hear you, man.
No, he's an absolute hammer, and I know who I got to beat usually if it's up there, or actually anywhere this year. But yeah, he's always in the mix. He's a solid dude.
Good stuff, man. Well, listen, brother, I can't thank you enough for coming on and taking time out of your day to come spend and talk fishing with us here.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at these events when we get there, and definitely we got to grab a beer, grab something, to eat or whatever one of those evenings.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure I'll be around making an ass of myself somewhere.
For sure.
Won't be hard to find me.
Well, make sure folks get out there, give Todd a follow here if you want to check out some of the content, check out some of the stuff he's using out there, and see some pretty awesome pictures, man. I'm looking down through. Oh, you got your little one who turned 10 today. Look at you.
Yeah.
Is that today?
Well, happy birthday to my daughter Avery. Yeah, she's 10.
Happy birthday, Avery.
Thank you. I'll let her know for sure. She's going to be excited.
You feeling old, Dad?
Well, yeah. I had them late, man. I'm 46, so I had my kids late because of fishing. I'm going to blame it on fishing no matter what. A lot of travel, a lot of fishing, a lot of stress, no time for kids.
I hear that. No, yeah, it just gets worse from here. Mine just turned 25 and 21, so yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We're already contemplating, okay, what's an acceptable nickname for Grandpa? Because I'm not cool with Grandpa. So whenever it happens, so we'll come up with something, that.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's got to be something, more hip, somewhere in there. I need to be that.
There's not too many options nowadays.
There really isn't. Yeah.
When you get old, you're old.
I just don't want to be the old smelly grandpa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
Grumpier old men.
Right. Nope. Don't want to be that guy either. I want to be the fun grandpa that sugars them up and sends them home.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, brother, again, thank you so very much. We appreciate it. Folks at home, give Todd a follow out there. You got that stuff. Make sure to smash the subscribe buttons here for the All-American Kayak Series at YouTube and, of course, Facebook on the page. If you're a registered angler, jump in our group out there. Todd, thank you very much, sir. Hang with me here after the exit here. We'll finish.
Absolutely. Thanks, Gene.
Folks at home, 1 second. We're looking for it. I can never find stuff when I'm looking for it. Tight lines. Be safe.